All right, so last part of here with exponents, we're looking at our exponent rules as they apply to rational exponents. So we're looking at when we have fractions as our exponents here. So just a quick reminder, all the rules still apply here. So remember our power rule, again, our power rule when we had like x squared times x to the 7th, we're just going to add those and that becomes x to the 9th. Or sorry, that's the product rule, my bad. Product, that's what I meant. Okay, the product rule, we had the quotient rule. Okay, which was if I had like x to the 2nd over x to the 7th, I'm just going to have my war, and this would be 1 over x to the 5th. Had my power rule, that was like the x to the 7th squared, which now I'm going to multiply, so I get x to the 14th. Don't forget your negative exponents. If you have a negative exponent, you flip it to the other side, so negative exponents. And so I have it x to the negative 3 all over y to the 4th. That would become 1 over x to the 3rd, y to the 4th. Just flip that sucker down. And then the only other one would be a 0 power. Remember, 0 power is just 1. Though. So these all apply when we have rational exponents. So when I have fractions, it's the same thing. You're just adding and multiplying and subtracting fractions instead. So which you guys should know how to do. So I've got 4 examples on this page. Let's just go through these. So if I look at this, I've got a multiplication. So this will be my product rule. I'm going to multiply my first and my last number, which is just going to give me 4. And then we have an n. I've got 5 fourths and 1 fourth. So I can just add those together. Again, because product, I add them together. That's going to give me 6 fourths because my denominator is the same, which 6 fourths actually simplifies to 3 halves. So we'd have 4n to the 3 halves is what we'd have for that one. Okay, if I look here, I got 4 times 1 again, so 4, and then I've got my p, and then I need to add these two together. Again, you can use a calculator or you can do it by hand. You just have to have, if you do it by hand, you have to have the denominators be the same here. This would actually be 6 fourths here instead, which when I add those together, that becomes 7 fourths for that one. Boom, boom. Okay, or just use your calculator and add those. You've got the fraction key on there. Okay, this next one's a power to a power, so I'm going to actually multiply here. So I'm going to go 2 times 1 fourth. 2 times 1 fourth gives me 2 fourths, which is 1 half. So x to the 1 half. And then 5 thirds times 1 fourth. Again, I just multiply numerators and denominators. That'd be 5 over 12. And that would be it for that one. So again, just your rules stay the same. Don't change your rules. So product means we're going to add, power to power means we're going to multiply, and then our quotient means we're going to divide or subtract here. So I've still got the 2 and the 3 because they don't go in evenly. Then I look at my x's. I've got 4 here and 2 here. All 4 are gone, and then 2. All all 2 of these are gone and 2 of these are gone, which that leaves me with an x squared up here. And then my y's. When you have rational exponents, you just need to subtract, and I'm going to subtract the numerator from the denominator in this case. So I'm going to subtract 3 over 2 by, what is that, 2 over 3? So, yep. So I just subtract those, and that gives me 5, 6. So you can either do that by hand or just in a calculator. So again, 3, I go my numerator, so 3 halves, subtract 2 thirds, which gives me 5 6. If it's positive, it goes in the numerator. So this will be y to the 5 6. If this was a negative number, again, it would have been negative 5 6 here. How to make it positive, I flip it down with that negative exponent rule. So good rule of thumb is if you get when you do subtraction and it's positive, just take the variable with that rational exponent in the numerator, and if it's negative, it just goes in the denominator for that. So we got a couple more that are a little more complicated that add a couple steps in here. So this one I've got product quotient and power rule. So I'm going to do my product and my quotient first. And so my numerator, I'm just going to multiply. That'll be 5/8. So it'll be k to the 5/8. And then I've got k times k, which is k squared. And then I'm going to subtract. So I'm subtracting, again, 5/8 minus 2 is what I'm looking for in this case. And again, you can do it by hand, or again, the exercise is not for you to test you to see if you can subtract fractions. You can just do this. So when I subtract this, I get negative 11/8. Okay, so because this is negative, it would be k to the negative 11/8, but I don't want that, so I'm just going to go 1 over k to the positive 11/8. Again, it would have been k to the 11/8 in the numerator, but again, negative. Make that, you kick it down below, and bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Let's do this one again. Rules here. I've got powers. Actually, I got a product of power and a quotient. So you can either do these together. I'd probably work inside out here, so I would add the 3 and the 3/4 here. Which that is going to give me 15/4. So this is m to the 15/4 if I add those together, because they're both m's. And then I've got to apply this 4/3 here, so I'm going to multiply that. So again, because we're multiplying, we're going to just multiply numerator and denominator. So 15 times 4, which is 60, and 4 times 3, which is 12. Which that is going to give me 5. That's 5 right there. So this would be m to the 5th in the numerator. And then in my denominator is m to the 1/2. So I'm just going, again, I'm just applying my quotient rule in this case to this. So I'm going to subtract this now. So I'm going to get 4/2, or 4 1/2, which is just 9/2. So this would be m to the 9/2. Again, I'm going 5 minus 1/2, which again, that gives me 9/2, or 4 1/2. Same thing as 9/2. Okay? So that would be what I get there. So again, you're sticking with your rules like we learned a few concepts ago. It's just dealing with fractions instead is all we're doing here. Okay? All right. That's your math moment with mommy. Adios.